Introduction, Paradigms and Principles. One morning, you open your eyes, and the world feels unfamiliar. Perhaps everything looks the same: people, cities, the sunrise, but when your perception changes, the world is no longer as it was. In The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey illustrates this transformation through paradigms. Paradigms are how we see the world, yet the lenses through which we view it can be blurred, tinted, or entirely misleading. This chapter focuses on how to clean those lenses or, if needed, replace them altogether. The power of paradigms for change. Covey emphasizes that paradigms are not just perspectives, but filters that deeply influence our lives and choices. Many people find themselves trapped in repetitive cycles, often rooted in misguided paradigms. For instance, if a parent sees their child as inherently lazy, they interpret every action through this lens. Even when the child puts in effort, it's dismissed as inadequate. Covey asserts, true change begins by reconstructing our inner world, not the outer one. He illustrates this idea with a striking story. A man sits on a New York subway, lost in thought, as his children cause a ruckus around him. The other passengers grow irritated, until someone finally confronts him, asking him to control his kids. The man looks up, startled, and replies, "You're right. I just don't know what to do. We just left the hospital. Their mother passed away an hour ago." In an instant, everyone's perception shifts from annoyance to empathy. This is the power of a paradigm shift. The events remain the same, but the way we perceive them changes everything. Character ethic and personal effectiveness. Covey delves into another profound topic: the character ethic. Modern society often limits personal development to superficial behavioral tweaks. We chase quick fixes, short-term strategies, and instant successes. Covey calls this the personality ethic, and argues that it is unsustainable. True change, he explains, stems from the character ethic or values and principles, which are the roots of our behavior. The character ethic is like the roots of a tree. Unseen, yet the tree's stability depends entirely on them. Covey reflects on historical figures like Benjamin Franklin, whose lives were anchored in virtues such as patience, honesty, and self-discipline. He argues that success is intrinsically tied to character, and that fleeting triumphs or shallow solutions will not yield lasting results. The core of effective change. Principles. For Covey, sustainable change in personal and social life requires a solid foundation built on universal principles. Honesty, fairness, responsibility, and respect are like a compass. They guide us, even in the most complex situations. Just as a ship's rudder steers it through stormy seas, principles are our guide in life's chaos. But Covey stresses an essential truth: principles cannot be manipulated. Understanding and integrating them into our lives is the starting point for becoming genuinely effective individuals. Rewrite your story through paradigm shifts. Covey uses a metaphor to explain the process of changing paradigms. Your life is represented by a map. If you have the wrong map, it doesn't matter how fast you run or how motivated you are, you'll remain on the wrong path. Changing the map, reevaluating your paradigms, is the first step, Covey advocates. This process can be uncomfortable, as old habits and beliefs are deeply ingrained. But this transformation, like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, is liberating and life-affirming. As Covey states, true change is born from a profound shift in paradigms, personal effectiveness, and responsibility. Covey highlights a defining trait of effective people: proactivity. The responses we choose to life's challenges are more critical than the challenges themselves. This is the cornerstone of personal responsibility and freedom. Often, people default to blaming external circumstances. "It's not my fault," or "if only things were different." Covey argues that such thinking renders us powerless. Proactive people can make decisions independent of their conditions, he says. This mindset mirrors the hero's journey. While you may not control the external world, you have the power to rewrite your narrative. Covey's paradigm shifts empower individuals to move from a victim mentality to becoming the heroes of their own stories. Conclusion: seeing anew, starting afresh. The introduction to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People serves as a reminder that change begins as an internal journey. Shifting your paradigms means learning to see the world with fresh eyes. Living by principles requires building a strong character, which may not yield immediate results. But, as Covey reminds us, the longest journeys begin with a single step. This chapter is an invitation to take that step. Redraw your map, become the author of your own story, and embrace the power of change, because transformation starts with you. Be proactive. Habit 1. In life, everyone is the protagonist of their own story, yet most people relinquish control of that role to external forces. Living reactively is like surrendering a ship to the wind. Wherever the wind blows, the ship drifts. In The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey describes this habit being proactive as the path to becoming the true captain of your life. This chapter explains how to regain control and navigate your life with purpose. Taking responsibility for your life. Covey categorizes people into 2 groups: reactive and proactive. Reactive individuals are driven by external circumstances and the actions of others. If the weather is bad, their mood plummets. If someone says something negative, their entire day is ruined. Proactive people, on the other hand, make their own decisions regardless of external factors. They base their actions on their values, not their surroundings. Being proactive means taking the wheel of your life. Covey states, people are not victims of their circumstances. They are products of their choices. This realization begins with deep awareness. You decide how you will feel and act in response to any event. Covey illustrates the power of proactivity with a striking story. A man spent years in prison, yet managed to maintain inner peace despite the dire conditions. No matter how harsh the environment, he understood that his free will could not be taken from him. His thoughts, attitudes, and hopes remained under his control. This story perfectly encapsulates proactivity. You may not control the conditions, but you always control your attitude. The difference between reactive and proactive approaches. Covey explains that understanding the difference between reactivity and proactivity is the first step toward living an effective life. Reactive people often speak the language of helplessness. I can't because it's not my fault. If only things were different. These phrases deny personal power. Reactive individuals surrender to external forces and become mere spectators in their own lives. For them, responsibility often feels synonymous with blame. Proactive people, however, use a different language. How can I solve this? I'll do my part. How can I turn this situation into an opportunity? These statements reflect ownership of their power and responsibility. Covey argues that proactivity begins with this mental shift. The language we use plays a critical role in reclaiming control over our lives. Another key difference lies in what these 2 types of people focus on. Covey explains this using 2 circles: the circle of concern and the circle of influence. Reactive people often dwell in the circle of concern, fixating on things beyond their control of politics, other people's behavior, or the weather. Proactive people, however, focus on the circle of influence, dedicating energy to things they can change. The power of being proactive. Covey describes proactivity as a muscle that strengthens with use. Starting with small steps is crucial. For instance, identifying one important task to complete the next day and focusing on it is an example of proactive behavior. Over time, these small actions compound and transform your life. The greatest strength of proactivity is that it turns individuals into creators. You become someone who doesn't just live life, but actively builds it. Covey encapsulates the freedom that proactivity grants. When you stop blaming circumstances and start being the author of your own story, you truly experience the meaning of life. Conclusion. Proactivity is a choice. Be proactive. Habit 1 offers a transformative idea powerful enough to reshape every aspect of your life. Covey argues that individuals not only have the ability to change their lives, but also the capacity to influence the world around them. However, this transformation starts with self-change. Life is an unpredictable journey filled with events beyond your control. Yet these events cannot dominate your inner world. Your inner freedom is your greatest power. Being proactive means discovering this power and using it to steer your life. Remember, true transformation begins with asking, "What can I do?" This habit empowers you to become both the author and the hero of your story. Begin with the end in mind. Habit 2. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your own funeral. Your loved ones, friends, and colleagues are gathered, speaking about you. What would you want them to say? How would you want to be remembered? In the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey confronts us with these profound questions through the concept of begin with the end in mind. This habit serves as a guide to set the course for your life and focus on what truly matters, creating a vision for your life. Covey emphasizes that every person is the architect of their own life. Just as a building requires a detailed blueprint before construction, our lives need a clear vision. This vision is not just about goals and aspirations. It also encompasses who we want to become. We hold the power to write our own life script, and our values and beliefs should guide this process. Imagine your life as a movie where you are both the director and the lead actor. How would you write the script? Which scenes would be essential? Covey says, design your life intentionally, not by chance. Without a clear vision, it's easy to drift along life's currents. Beginning with the end in mind gives purpose to every step you take and moves you closer to your goals. Living according to your values. An essential part of creating a vision is living according to your values. Values are the compass of life. Without them, it's impossible to know which direction to take. Covey points out that many people live according to others' expectations or societal norms. However, true fulfillment and success come from living a life aligned with our inner values. Think of the captain of a ship. If their compass is broken, they will never reach their desired destination. Similarly, if our values are unclear, we feel a constant sense of emptiness. Covey stresses, identify your values and stay true to them. This inner integrity helps us find the right path, even in the face of challenges. Life, mission, and goals. Covey discusses the necessity of crafting a personal mission statement. This statement defines your purpose in life and what you stand for. A mission statement serves as a guide for your daily decisions and long-term plans. Setting goals is a way to bring this mission to life. However, Covey emphasizes that goals must align with your values and mission. Otherwise, even when achieved, they may leave you feeling unfulfilled. For example, chasing material wealth at the expense of family relationships can lead to long-term unhappiness. What's at the center of your life? Covey explains that people often center their lives around different things: family, career, money, status, pleasures, etc. However, these centers are temporary and influenced by external factors. Covey suggests placing principles, unchanging universal truths, at the center of your life. Principles such as honesty, fairness, love, and compassion act as the foundation for a stable and meaningful existence. Centering your life on principles brings balance and stability. External fluctuations don't disrupt your inner peace or sense of direction. This enables you to make consistent decisions and achieve lasting satisfaction. Conclusion: build your life consciously. Begin with the end in mind. Habit 2 is an invitation to take control of your life. Covey offers us the opportunity to become the designers of our own lives. This is not just about achieving success, but also about living a meaningful and fulfilling life. Think of your life as a journey, and let your destination be clear. You choose the paths you'll take to reach it. Your values and principles will serve as your compass throughout this journey. Beginning with the end in mind gives intentionality and purpose to every step. Remember, how you want the final scene of your life to look starts with the actions you take today. True success comes from writing a story with a beautiful ending. Put first things first. Habit 3. Picture a busy person juggling an endless to-do list. There are dozens of tasks, but how many of them truly matter? In the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey focuses not on how to manage time, but on how to prioritize effectively. Because taking control of your life begins with answering the question, what is truly important? Habit 3 presents a life strategy. Put first things first. This isn't just about organizing a to-do list. It's about consciously aligning your actions with your values and life goals. As Covey aptly puts it, if you don't manage your life, someone else will. Putting first things first. Not everything in your life can be equally important. Covey categorizes tasks into 4 quadrants: urgent and important crises, deadlines, urgent but not important interruptions, daily trivialities, not urgent but important strategic planning, relationships, personal development, not urgent and not important, time wasters, unproductive activities. Most people spend their time in the urgent but not important quadrant. In the hustle of daily life, we often focus on trivial matters. However, true success and fulfillment come from dedicating time to the not urgent but important quadrant. Covey calls this quadrant the heart of effective self-management. Think about it. How much time do you spend putting out daily fires or scrolling through social media? Covey's approach is simple yet powerful. Identify your priorities and put the important things first. Time management and effectiveness. Covey challenges traditional approaches to time management, arguing that they often focus on to-do lists and schedules. However, these tools are insufficient for managing what truly matters in life. For Covey, time management is not about what you do, it's about why you do it. Consider the metaphor of rocks, pebbles, and sand. Imagine you have a jar to fill. If you start with the sand and pebbles, there won't be room for the large rocks. But if you place the large rocks first, the smaller elements will fit around them. These large rocks represent the most important elements of your life: your values, goals, and critical tasks. Covey emphasizes this principle with the mantra, be loyal to your priorities. Not every task carries equal weight. Every yes you say to one thing is a no to something else. So, ask yourself, are the things you're saying yes to truly important? The difference between efficiency and effectiveness. Many people aim for efficiency, doing tasks faster or accomplishing more. But Covey highlights a critical distinction. Efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things. If you're heading in the wrong direction, running faster won't help you get where you need to go. Effectiveness starts with clarity about your priorities. Covey illustrates this with a story. A group of workers uses axes and saws to cut a path through a dense forest. The leader climbs a tree to survey the area and shouts, "Wrong forest." The workers below reply, "But we're making great progress." This story perfectly demonstrates how misplaced priorities can lead to wasted effort. When you pause to assess which forest you're in, you gain the opportunity to focus on what truly matters. Conclusion: manage your life the right way. Put first things first. Habit 3 is the key to managing your life more effectively. This habit empowers you not just to manage your time, but also to take control of your energy, focus, and direction. When you build your life by putting first things first, you rise above the daily grind to focus on what's genuinely meaningful. As Covey says, fill your life with the big rocks first, and everything else will fall into place. True success lies not in managing time, but in identifying and committing to your real priorities. Think win-win. Habit 4. Imagine 2 people sitting at a negotiation table. Each one is focused on their own gain, but in the end, one wins while the other loses. Or perhaps both stubbornly insist on their demands, and everyone walks away empty-handed. These scenarios illustrate why Stephen R. Covey emphasizes the importance of the win-win mindset in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Habit 4 focuses not only on individual success, but also on creating mutual benefit in relationships. Covey argues that true success and meaningful relationships can only be achieved through a win-win approach. This approach ensures that success is not built at the expense of others, but rather through solutions where everyone comes out ahead. The win-win approach, a mindset shift. Covey describes the win-win approach as a paradigm shift. It requires seeing life and relationships not as a zero-sum game, but as opportunities for mutual satisfaction. The essence of this mindset is the belief that I can win, and so can you. This approach is rooted in an individual's internal confidence. Covey states, genuine win-win thinking is only possible when you have a strong foundation of character. Confidence, empathy, integrity, and fairness form this foundation. These qualities enable you to advocate for your own needs while remaining attuned to the needs of others, understanding win-lose and lose-lose approaches. To better understand the win-win mindset, Covey contrasts it with two other common approaches. Win-lose approach. In this approach, one person's success comes at the expense of another's failure. For example, a leader may achieve results by pressuring their employees, but this can lead to decreased morale. Lose-lose approach. This approach arises in situations where conflicts remain unresolved, and both parties suffer as a result. Stubbornness and pride often fuel this mindset, when neither side is willing to compromise. Covey refers to it as a paradigm of mutual destruction. Key principles for a win-win mindset. Covey outlines 3 essential principles for adopting a win-win approach. Character. A strong character combines empathy with integrity. This balance allows you to express your own needs while understanding and respecting the needs of others. Relationships. The win-win approach is built on a foundation of trust. Without trust, achieving mutual benefit is difficult. Solution seeking. Those with a win-win mindset focus on finding creative solutions that meet the needs of both parties. This isn't about mere compromise, but about producing outcomes where both sides feel genuinely satisfied. Conclusion. Making win-win a part of your life. Think win-win. Habit 4 offers a pathway to both individual success and meaningful relationships. By integrating this approach into your life, you can achieve your own goals while contributing to the success of others. The win-win mindset transcends zero-sum games. It transforms life into a space where success is shared and relationships are strengthened. Remember, true victory is only possible in a world where others can win too. Empathic listening. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Imagine a conversation where both parties are focused solely on expressing their own thoughts. Interruptions, defensiveness, and misunderstandings dominate, leaving everyone feeling unheard. In The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey offers a way to break this cycle. Empathic listening. Seek first to understand, then to be understood is the cornerstone of effective communication. Seeking first to understand. Listening with empathy. Most of us listen with the intent to reply rather than to truly understand. While the other person is speaking, we are already formulating our response in our minds, only half paying attention to their words. Covey explains that this kind of listening prevents genuine connection and meaningful communication. Empathic listening involves not just hearing the words, but also understanding the feelings and intentions behind them. Covey describes it as seeking to fully see and feel the other person's perspective. This goes beyond the surface, requiring us to grasp the emotional tone and unspoken meaning behind what is being said. Consider this example. A child tells their mother, "I hate school." On the surface, this might seem like a simple complaint, but an empathic listener would sense the underlying emotions: fear, insecurity, or loneliness. As Covey explains, people often want others to feel what they cannot fully express in words. The power of empathic listening. Covey emphasizes the transformative power of empathic listening. When someone feels truly heard, they lower their defenses and begin to express themselves more openly. This not only resolves conflicts, but also builds deep emotional connections. Empathic listening involves 4 key steps. Give your full attention, focus entirely on the speaker, and remain open to what they are saying. Understand nonverbal cues. Pay attention to tone of voice, facial expressions, and body language. Look beyond the words, understand the emotions and intentions behind what is being said. Reflect back accurately. Convey to the speaker that you truly understand them. This process is not just a technique, but a mindset. Covey highlights that empathic listening is the foundation of trust and mutual respect in relationships. Then, to be understood, effective communication. Empathic listening is not just about understanding others, it also enables you to express yourself more effectively. Covey asserts, expecting to be understood without first understanding creates an impasse in communication. People are more open to your ideas and perspectives once they feel genuinely heard and understood. By first listening with empathy and then clearly articulating your thoughts, you create a space for meaningful and effective communication. Conclusion: building deep connections in communication. Conclusion: building deep connections in communication, empathic listening. Habit 5 is a transformative approach to communication. Seeking first to understand not only resolves conflicts, but also helps you build deep and meaningful relationships. Remember, helping someone feel heard is one of the greatest gifts you can offer. As Covey puts it, empathic listening is a doorway into someone's inner world. By adopting this habit, you not only become a better communicator, but also a more understanding and compassionate person. Creating synergy. Habit 6. Teamwork and collaboration. Imagine an orchestra. Each instrument can play a beautiful melody on its own, but when they come together, the resulting symphony reaches a whole new level. This is what Stephen R. Covey describes as synergy. Habit 6 teaches us how to turn differences into strengths and create greater potential by bringing people together. Synergy is more than teamwork or collaboration. It's about combining different perspectives to create more innovative and effective solutions. As Covey says, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Differences should lead to harmony, not conflict, and this requires trust and open communication. When faced with a problem, embracing different ideas allows for solutions where everyone contributes. Covey states, when you create synergy, you step into a world where everyone wins. This concept applies not only to teams, but also to families, friendships, and all kinds of relationships. Turning differences into strengths. Differences are often seen as obstacles, but Covey views them as one of our greatest advantages. Opposing ideas, varied perspectives, and diversity are the foundation of innovation and creativity. According to Covey, creating synergy involves understanding differences and then combining them to form a stronger whole. In this process, each individual's uniqueness is respected, and everyone's contributions are valued. This fosters a sense of purpose and increases motivation within a group. Sharpening the saw. Habit 7. Continuous renewal. Picture a lumberjack cutting trees with a saw that becomes duller with each cut. If they were to pause and sharpen the saw, the work would be much faster and easier. Stephen R. Covey's sharpening the saw metaphor emphasizes the necessity of continuous self-renewal. In the hustle of life, taking time to invest in yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually makes you more productive, balanced, and fulfilled. This habit isn't about doing more, but about doing better. Balanced growth in physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual dimensions. Covey focuses on the individual as a whole and highlights 4 key dimensions. Physical, a healthy body is the foundation of a healthy life. Regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and proper rest renew your physical energy and build resilience. Mental, developing your mind requires openness to learning and growth. Reading, acquiring new knowledge, and enhancing your mental discipline support your personal development. Emotional healthy relationships are key to emotional balance. Covey emphasizes the importance of empathy, forgiveness, and meaningful connections. Understanding yourself and others strengthens your emotional well-being. Spiritual renewal comes from finding purpose in life and living according to your values. Meditation, prayer, or personal reflection can rejuvenate your spiritual dimension. The mindset of highly effective people. Emotional and spiritual maturity. Being effective in life is not just about achieving success, but also about living a meaningful life. In the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey emphasizes 2 core elements that shape the mindset of effective individuals: emotional maturity and spiritual depth. These 2 qualities determine not only external achievements, but also inner peace and fulfillment. According to Covey, Emotional maturity is the ability to take responsibility, manage impulses, and approach others' needs with empathy. Spiritual depth, on the other hand, involves identifying one's values, discovering life's purpose, and living in alignment with that purpose. A life built on these foundations is not only successful, but also balanced and meaningful. Characteristics of highly effective people. Highly effective individuals tend to share several common traits. Self-awareness, they know themselves well, recognizing both strengths and weaknesses. This awareness provides a foundation for growth. Self-discipline, they resist impulses and remain focused on long-term goals. Empathy, they understand and value the feelings of others. Value-driven, they live according to principles and values which serve as a compass for their decisions. These traits not only enhance personal success, but also improve the quality of relationships with others. Personal leadership and time management. From daily goals to life purpose, Covey highlights time management as a critical tool for leading an effective life. However, it goes beyond simply creating to-do lists. Personal leadership involves looking at life holistically and aligning daily goals with a larger life purpose. Imagine a lighthouse guiding ships through a stormy night. Daily goals should act as a lighthouse. Not a short-term light source, but a long-term guide. Covey emphasizes that time management is not just about completing tasks, but about seeing the bigger picture. Covey offers 2 key steps for managing time effectively. Identify your priorities. Think carefully about what you're saying yes to, as every yes means saying no to something else. Put the big rocks first. Focus on your most important goals first, then fit smaller tasks around them. Staying true to your priorities. Covey highlights that staying true to one's priorities is one of the most powerful traits of highly effective individuals. Most people get caught up in the daily rush and lose sight of what truly matters. Effective individuals, however, know their priorities and channel their energy accordingly. Being true to your priorities not only helps you achieve success, but also ensures a balanced and fulfilling life. As Covey puts it, take control of your life, or others will control it for you. Conclusion: building an effective life. The mindset of highly effective people is built on a strong foundation. Emotional maturity, spiritual depth, personal leadership, and staying true to one's priorities. Covey argues that these habits are not just the keys to building a life, but also to leaving a lasting legacy. Remember, an effective life is not shaped by random achievements, but by a conscious sense of direction and purpose. Stay true to your priorities, manage your time in alignment with your values, and focus on the bigger picture to unlock the true potential of your life. Conclusion: a balanced and innovative life. Habits 6 and 7, in Covey's framework, aim to transform both your external and internal worlds. Synergy enables greater achievements through collaboration, while sharpening the saw ensures sustainability by fostering personal renewal. Turn differences into a source of strength in your life. Take time to renew yourself and move forward with greater energy and purpose. When you are in harmony with yourself and your surroundings, you unlock your true potential. Trust and reliability in relationships. Building trust in relationships. Imagine a bridge connecting two sides. It creates a strong bond, but if it's built on weak foundations, it will eventually collapse. Trust in relationships is just like that bridge. When strong and stable, it forms a powerful connection between two parties. But when fragile, relationships can quickly crumble. In the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey identifies trust as the cornerstone of all relationships. Trust doesn't just build a relationship, it also makes sustainable success possible. Covey emphasizes that trust takes time to develop but can be destroyed in an instant by neglect or poor behavior. Reliability is built through keeping promises, being honest, and showing others that they are valued. The emotional bank account concept. Covey explains trust through a metaphor called the emotional bank account. Every relationship begins with an account. Positive actions, like keeping promises, showing respect, and demonstrating empathy, are deposits into this account, gradually building trust. However, breaking promises, acting insensitively, or failing to be honest are withdrawals that deplete the account. Once trust is diminished, it takes significant time and effort to rebuild it. Covey states, "Every positive action is an investment. Every violation is a withdrawal," emphasizing that trust is constructed through consistent, small actions over time. This concept applies to both personal and professional relationships. A leader who wants to earn the trust of their team must go beyond making promises; they must deliver on them. Similarly, in friendships or family bonds, trust is strengthened by genuine, repeated acts of care and reliability. Sustainable success. Living by values and principles. Covey asserts that the foundation of sustainable success is a principle-centered life. Values and principles provide not only direction, but also a solid foundation for life. Living by principles means adhering to universal values like honesty, fairness, respect, and compassion. A life guided by values and principles allows trust to flourish, while enabling long-term success. A life without principles may bring short-term gains, but it ultimately damages both the individual and those around them. As Covey puts it, principles are like a compass. They always show the right direction in the chaos of life. The long-term impact of living by principles and creating lasting effects. Covey highlights how living by principles leaves a profound and lasting impact. People are remembered not for their short-term achievements, but for the values and principles they lived by. To be seen as a trustworthy individual is not just the key to short-term success, but also to leaving a meaningful legacy. Creating lasting effects requires going beyond personal achievements and touching the lives of others. Covey explains that trustworthy individuals influence not just their own lives, but also the lives of those around them. This could mean being a role model to your children as a parent, inspiring employees as a leader, or building solid connections as a friend. Conclusion: the power of trust and principles. Covey's approach underscores the importance of trust and adherence to principles in both individual and social relationships. The emotional bank account metaphor reminds us that every action we take has long-term consequences. A life rooted in principles brings not only success but also fulfillment and meaning. Remember, building trust is like constructing a bridge. It requires patience, effort, and care. But once it's strong, it can reliably connect both sides, creating a lasting and impactful bond.